Hello, coolers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with Frenkie de Jong, as it has been reported that Barcelona could sell the informed superstar in order to fund moves for two defensive midfielders. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then to conclude this episode, talking about this Barca legend by name Bernd Schuster, who in a recent interview in Mundo Deportivo talks Messi, Busquets, De Jong, Maradona playing for Real Madrid, Atletico. We're also going to be discussing on everything he had to say. So guys, before we get right into the story, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. Barcelona have already begun working to strengthen the team in the upcoming transfer windows, with the defensive midfield position identified as a key area that needs to be addressed. Sergio Busquets is out of contract at the end of the season and will likely move on to the MLS, leaving a gaping hole in the center of the park. Plans are already being made to sign a new pivot midfielder as early as January to cover for the club captain and eventually replace him. Ruben Neves has emerged as the likeliest candidate for Barcelona to that end, with reports claiming that Barca already have all the necessary agreements to sign him. But the problem remains that the club will need to make an important sale in order to incorporate the signing of the midfielder, and as per report from Sport, Frenkie de Jong has once again emerged as the likely candidate that Barca could consider selling. The midfielder started the season with a reduced role under Xavi after deciding to stay put despite the club's efforts to sell him. But he has gained a lot of prominence over the past couple of weeks thanks to some stunning performances, especially in the last two matches. However, despite that, for Barcelona to make room for another midfielder, they will need to sell one, and De Jong may end up being the sacrificial lamb, given that the club will never sell Pedri and Gavi. Selling Frenkie will not help as much in terms of raising funds or freeing up salary mass. With the funds generated, Barca could then buy two defensive midfielders, one on which could be Neves and the other could be a player from the South American market. FC Barcelona have had their eyes on talents like Danilo, who is a two-time Copa Libertadores winner and with Palmeiras in just 21 years of age, while Vasco da Gama's Andre Santos is another option, which director Jordi Cruyff is working on already. What seems now clear is that Barcelona will work on bringing two DMs to ensure that there is depth in the team, in the position, most especially once Busquets departs, and Ruben Neves is very much likely to be one of the two players to arrive. When we look at what Frenkie de Jong have been doing on the pitch this season, for the few opportunities that Xavi gives him, it is criminal to sell him, honestly speaking. I'm not of the fact that Frenkie de Jong should be sold because they want to bring another DM or two more DMs. Frenkie de Jong is a DM by trade, for crying out loud, and I think that it would be a bad idea for Frenkie de Jong to be sold outrightly just because they want to bring other DMs, for which we have a Frenkie de Jong is a world-class player in any top team in Europe, and I don't see any reason why Barca will continue to push him out from the exit door against his own wish. So the issue of a DM has been one of the most talked about positions that needs to be strengthened because it is clear that Busquets will depart the club once his contract comes to an end, and so it's just for me unfair if Frenkie de Jong is to be the sacrificial lamb in all this, because what this guy has been playing this season so far is really impressing. Xavi himself have always, like the last two games, I think Xavi have complimented Frenkie de Jong a lot for the way he played, and selling him after this it's just making no sense to me. I wish it doesn't happen because I think Frenkie de Jong deserves to be part of this team for a very long time. He's a DM with difference. He's not a DM. I don't know. I know Barca, they want a DM similar in playing style like Busquets, but come on. I think Busquets type of player are very scarce nowadays. I don't think Ruben Neves is even the best candidate for that because we've been talking about Ruben Neves a lot these past few days, but he is not the kind of person for Busquets for me personally. But Frenkie de Jong, he have a different style of play, which is still very, very good. He brings threats in attack. His transitions from defense to attack is world class. He brings something different. He has some attributes a lot that Busquets doesn't have. Same as how Busquets have his own attributes that Frenkie doesn't have. So let's see how it goes. But I think Frenkie de Jong should stay at the club. I wish Barcelona shouldn't push him out, as this report is claiming. Then moving on to the next story of discussion. In a recent interview with Mundo Deportivo, Bernd Schuster offered his thoughts on the legacy of Lionel Messi, approving the comparison between him and another footballing legend, Diego Maradona. Schuster, who was one of the few players to play for Barcelona, Real and Atletico, also commented on Sergio Busquets' legacy at Barca, along with his prospects alongside Frenkie de Jong, among many other things. Here are some of the highlights in his interview with Mundo Deportivo. On the best player he has ever seen, he said, the first big star I saw was Pelé, then we have Eusebio in the 1966 World Cup, then Beckenbauer and Johan Cruyff. I enjoyed the 1974 World Cup when I was 14 or 14 years old, and although Germany won, Cruyff was something different from the rest. Later, Maradona arrived, the Brazilian Ronaldo. For me, the best is Messi. I have not seen anybody like him with so many possibilities. On comparison between Messi and Maradona, he said, yes, of course. The only thing that must not be forgotten is that the conditions in which Maradona played are not those of Messi's. We would have seen Maradona much more in today's times. They hit him everywhere. I've seen him jump everywhere. He got up, nobody apologized. They hit him again. It was tremendous. Thank God that no longer exists, and that's why the game is more beautiful now. On why he did not win more with Maradona, he said, I also wonder why in 8 years at Barca I only won one league. Plenty, yes, but we were never close to winning another league title. We saved ourselves with the cups. It cost us Sunday to Sunday. We limited ourselves to winning Clásicos, derbies against Espanyol and little else. We received that message, but it was our fault for not imposing ourselves on that and saying we want more. We're conformist, and it was a mistake. We fell short, no doubt. I've always said I don't understand how we only won one league title. On Busquets, he said Busquets has become essential in Barcelona, and it will be until the end of his contract. On another level, but the day Busquets leave, it will be very similar to Messi's. When he leave, a replacement would have to be found, and it will be difficult because it is Barca style and not just anyone can play in his place. You have to look for one of his characteristics, who know how to read a game, who is sure of the ball like him. On Busquets playing alongside De Jong, he said, Busquets is compatible with De Jong. You have to find the formula, as Xavi has done. It's okay for them to play alongside each other. But Frenkie de Jong, likes to dribble, go out with the ball at his feet, and that's dangerous. On playing for Barca, Real Madrid, and Atletico, he said, people always ask me, hey, what team are you on? And I always make it clear how much fun I have had with the three of the team, each in his own way. In Barcelona, I lived like a king for those 8 years. People treated me incredibly, and you could see that on the pitch. In Madrid, it was different, but they also treated me very well. And Atletico was like a family with Jesus Gil, different from Madrid, a fan club team. It was a fantastic time. Besides, there were fans who like football, I think also won every many. On his move from Barca to Real, he said, it was something unexpected. I already had it done with Juve. Who wanted me to replace Platini. It was almost signed, but of course, the last minute, there were problems. Madrid got involved and my family was adapted to Spain. I had a really bad time. The first day I went back to the Camp Nou in white, it was a difficult day. There were many feelings. It cost me a lot, but we are professionals and we have to continue. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.